My name is Peter Baldwin, and I'm the founder of Bird Dog Shorts. You've probably seen me on Shark Tank, where Mark Cuban obliterated my pitch. Look, Mark, I'll admit it. The invention of the first ever stretch khaki shorts that feel amazing, look amazing, and you can wear literally anywhere wasn't my best idea. But I've got more, like Dog Trader, just like Auto Trader, but you can sell your old dog. Mark, I know you'd invest if you just gave me one more shot. So go to birddogs.com/pool and join the 2 million men who think Bird Dog Shorts are a great idea. Or DM Mark Cuban and tell him to give me one more shot.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Final Four is Not on the Schedule. I'm your host Eric, alongside with expert analyst Rod. Thanks for joining us on the best MSU basketball podcast featuring in-depth recruiting, game matchup, and post-game analysis. We dive deep to give you the best tools to enjoy the Spartans and impress your friends and family. Hey everybody, it's Eric alongside Rod. We're here to talk to Mady Sissoko, who's joining us on our podcast today. Before we begin, I just want to remind you that there are all kinds of other social media outlets to find us. We're on Instagram, but specifically Twitter. So Rod and I are going to try something. We're going to do Twitter Spaces, which is a new thing. It's like audio thing, but it's an opportunity for us to interact with you. So if you want to be part of the show and get some questions in, we're going to do that at some point. So make sure you sign up, subscribe so you can find it in your feed at TFFINOTS68, right? That's the Twitter feed. And then also you can go to our website, thefinalfoursontheschedule.com, and there you can sign up for an email list on the bottom. That way you get emails for things like this. So we'll have events or we have questions, and it's summer, so we're kind of trying to branch out a little bit and do. We don't obviously have games to talk about, but there's a lot of other stuff. And we're joined today, very pleased to join on the Final Four is Not on the Schedule, by Mady Sissoko, the starting center for Michigan State basketball, who I guess you're a senior now.
Yeah.
Wow. Hard to believe.
I'm flat.
It's over before you know it, isn't it? So, Mady, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
It's absolutely our pleasure. So, for those of us who are longtime listeners, we had Mady on in February, I think it was, where we talked about your foundation, the Mady Sissoko Foundation, which you can find a link to that below at madysissokofoundation.org. There you're raising money to build a school back in your home village of Mali and just to do other stuff, not just the school. I think you're raising money for other improvements to your village and the surrounding area. I know we raised a lot of money just from this show, as my standing. I think kind of almost enough to build the school itself. So I know I've seen pictures of the school. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Since our last, I was on this show the last time. Since that, there's after the show, there's a lot of donation happen, and also, after the season, when we send out the links and the people were just donating, it was, it's just like before I even start talking, it's just like how I'm so appreciative the people in this community here. Not only Michigan State community, but around here, like they would make a donation and they didn't know what's gonna happen. But luckily our mission was to go build a school in my village and the wells and the clinics and the things where we did all that. So the last May, I went back home. May 14 and 15, I was in the village and opened up the school. And like you said, you guys see some pictures and the photos and the videos. So you kind of see how incredible it was, like how amazing people was about the building that school. For me personally, it's definitely blessed for me. God helped me put in this situation, and for me, I always thinking about it. My village, there's so many kids that want to be the same situation I am right now. So for me, thinking about that is easy for me to give back, and I have the right people in my corner who helping me to do that. So first step is always the hardest one, and we did that to build school for the kid and stuff. So it went great, and it was bigger and younger than I think it was gonna be. Kid was happy. Everybody in the village were happy.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's funny, for $25,000 in the United States, you might be able to get a swing set and a teeter totter, but you guys got put in a whole school and you got it done in a couple of months. It's really, it's really impressive. How many kids are going to that school, and are they all from your village? I know you mentioned before that you might even draw from other villages.
Oh yeah, there's for that day actually, because we brought some backpacks, some pencils, and a notebook for the kid. But they're on the break right now. The school don't start over there until late September. So right now but that kid that come to the school opening days, it was so many. And like the classroom, it's a full classroom, and the classroom was so full, and it was like probably like 100 people in each classroom, and it was so full. But for I think when the school start, would be able to each classroom be able to hold between 60 to 70 kids.
Obviously, we know, based on what we were just talking about, that the initial goal of your foundation has been achieved. You've built the school, and I also understand there's correct me if I'm wrong, there's a medical clinic, and also, was it an improvement to an existing well or a new well for water?
It was a completely new well.
Okay, so you did all of those things as part of this initial effort with your foundation, but with how successful the foundation has been in a pretty short period of time, I imagine your plan is to continue with it, right?
Absolutely, yep.
So what kind of things are you thinking about for the future in terms of the goals that you have? What things you want to do specifically, so we can encourage others to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. For right now, you want to do everything once sometimes, but you can't. You got to take step by step there. You got to look at the most important thing for them to have. So for me right now, the next goal is the most important thing is cracked tractor for for the farm. Like people can, that can help them to work on the farm easily. And also along with that is the teacher housing. So we did a school and everything, but we were not able to do this teacher housing. So I think those two are on the next line.
Okay, so I was reading a little bit about the tractor. So my understanding is, if you have the right kind of tractor, you might be able to yield like something like 10 times as much in the way of crop production.
Absolutely, yes, for sure. You'll be able to, if you have the right one, you'll be for sure to do that. But our next goal is to find even it take us a little bit longer, we make sure it's the right one we get, and that will work like longer, like it do 1 day work is definitely will be the whole village work.
And how many is pretty much everybody in the village involved in agriculture in one way or the other?
Oh yeah, it's everybody. I grew up doing that, and I see it every single day before I came here. It's basically that's what we do over there to survive. You go when the rainy season start, you go to farm, you farm, and then by this time you will able to receive the seed you want to eat, and it's basically like that's what we do to survive.
So to make that kind of improvement, to have 10 times the crop yield, is a huge thing for your community in every respect, right?
Yeah, definitely it is. It's a lot of little villages, the village next to us. They are some way every little opportunity I have here, I want to make sure I'm gonna make sure they get a little bit everything we do. I get a chance to do over there. This the school is the first school in my village, and it is actually the fastest building for the school to start building. We finished that. We started the school for like 5 months, and we finished in this between the 5 to 6 months, and that never really happened around over there. Usually, when you're building a classroom like this, and the wells and the clinics, it usually take like almost years, and then because all the great people who donate help us to raise a lot of money, and then and all the people that wrote the website and they send out help us to raise a lot of money and that we were able to do very quick.
Yeah,
it helps having all that funding for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I just want to highlight for our listeners again, they can donate now today at MadySissokoFoundation.org, right?
Yep.
And a link to that will be below here in your podcast player, or if you're on YouTube, it'll be on the YouTube player too. But let's talk a little bit about basketball, because you do play basketball. Yeah. That's part of the reason you're on the show here. Before I do, I just want to remind everyone that one of the great sponsors of the show is Nudge Printing. They printed this great shirt that I'm wearing here that Coach Kelly insists on getting a shirt as well. So hopefully he's worn it to up your practices, and this is a big Tom Izzo saying, the Final Four is on the schedule, right? Because I'm sure he's mentioned it once or twice to you. But so you can get this great swag. You just go to the finalfoursontheschedule.com/merchandise. Also, other ways of supporting the show, you can just go to the support page. But Nudge Printing does fantastic work. They worked with Spartan Strong. They raised a lot of money for shooting victims, I think over $155,000, printed tens of thousands of T-shirts in support of the shooting victims from the February event. So check them out at nudgeprinting.com. You can get 20% off your purchase if you enter Final Four as a coupon code. All right, so Mady, successful season like last year in some respects, right? You guys made the Sweet 16, made it the second weekend. How are you feeling about this season? And what are your plans for you particular with your game?
You talking about the past season?
Yeah, I mean, last season was obviously good for you. You got it. You were starting. You're playing a lot. What is your plans for this next year? What are you working on this summer to work on improving?
It's last season, like you said, it was a big step for me, and it was great. And I also, there's a lot of good thing happen, and there's a lot of learning lesson happen. Obviously we made a Sweet 16, but our goal is to play national championship. And I think this year, that's our biggest goal. We gotta get to get to where this program belong. Like get the Final Four, play the national game. For me, particularly, I took a jump last year. This year is also the plan to take another big jump because we had a lot of guys, a great group of guys, and then we have great group of coaching staff. So, they're going to do everything for us. They're going to prepare for us in every ways. We just got to make sure we listen and be ready to do the things that take to win in the game of basketball. And I think that's it. This year, everybody in the locker room, that's everybody's main goal, to go to Phoenix, to go to Final Fours and to play national game next year. So we're gonna keep working hard every single day and keep going toward our goal.
What for you was the hardest lesson for you to learn last season?
It's definitely heartbreaking loss against Kansas State. That was definitely heartbroken because I think our team played very, very well, and we played it very well, winning games, but we were not able to come out with the win. That's definitely heartbroken. And I think the conference wise, I think I see our team. I think we should have finish maybe the second or the first, but we obviously we dropped a couple games we're not supposed to, we should have won those games. But if you look at the last conference games, there's a lot of games we should definitely have won. But it's all lost. Is a good thing is the past, and we know why it happened. So for our next step, we gotta make sure that don't happen to us again.
What parts, is there anything specifically in your game that you're working on hardest this off season to improve, or is it just kind of overall?
It's definitely overall. First is the overall, but I always want to expand my game a little bit. Be not just only banging guys in the paint, but just a little bit, outside a little bit. Get an out guy open. Working a lot of passes, and then we have a great shooter, so you got to know where you can find them. So I'm working a little bit everything right now.
Okay. One of the things that's going to be different, I think, for next year's team is that you're going to have a lot more depth. You've got a lot more guys that can play with all the guys coming back from last year, but also this 4-man freshman class that's coming in. Have you had much of a chance to play with those guys yet? And if you have, what's your impression of the new guys?
Those freshmen are very, very exciting to be here. Seeing them, they're so fun to play around with them on the court because they do what it takes to win a basketball. They are, my impression for them. They play the right way. They play the right way. It's not like a one guy is okay. I'm all about myself. All 4 guys are about the teamwork, and it's just so easy to play around, to play game with them. To be honest,
do you think that you guys are going to be able to run more this year than you did last season?
Yeah, definitely. Every single time, every time since the season, and the coaches talking about it. This year we got able to run. We got able to run. Even today, he was even talking about it. We have to run. So it's definitely something we're definitely gonna do, because we have, like you said, we got a lot more guys, and
right.
So it's definitely gonna be running. This team is gonna be a running team.
Do you expect your role is to, because you weren't involved a whole lot in the transition game last season, do you expect to be running the lane and down the middle of the lane, like sort of traditional Michigan State center?
Absolutely, yeah. That's our job. We got able to do our job.
Well, that's very exciting to watch you guys move a little bit faster. Before going a little bit, I just want to remind everyone about other great sponsors, Brothers at Just Two Gutters. They do fantastic work on the west side and east side of the state. You can talk to Kurt and his team. They'll take great care of you if you want leaf guards, all the stuff that Mady doesn't have to worry about because he's got an apartment or some fancy place in East Lansing, I suppose. He's living. He has a landlord or someone probably taking care of that stuff.
No.
But if you own a home, you have to take care of that water that's on your roof and make sure it doesn't cause problems with your foundation. So make sure you talk to the brothers that Just Do Gutters. They specialize in only doing that one thing, and that makes them experts in it. And so you can reach them at brothersgutters.com. The links for that will be below. 10% off. You mentioned Final Four for an estimate on their work. And again, repair, replace, or adding things to cleaning out your gutters, things like that. So they can do it all, and they work quickly and efficiently. So a couple quick questions for you. Are you playing Moneyball this summer?
Yeah, we are planning on it. I don't know how it's going to go, but right now we're planning to play. Okay.
So, the question I was asking, these new players, I assume you're having them carry your bags and stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they got able to do that as a freshman duty.
And then, and you've had, I think, a week of scrimmage with them. What about each of them have you noticed about their particular skills that have impressed you that you maybe weren't expecting or you hadn't seen yet in person?
You know, uh,
Like, let's say we'll just start with Booker. What do you think about Booker? You've gone up
Booker,
to him
you
against
know,
him.
Booker can like if Booker can play inside and out. That's he can really shoot the ball, and that's the one thing about him. You know, he can play inside and out for sure.
Yeah, and then how about Jeremy Fears?
Jeremy, yeah, but he has a great vision on the court. He's a great passer. You know what to get a guy open, and he can push the ball very well too. And he's a point guard, McDonald American, so he is definitely he has a vision of court for sure. He's a great passer too.
Yeah, he seems like sort of the ringleader of that group a little bit.
Yeah.
How about Garrick Norman?
He's a definite sniper, shooter, shooting spot, and his ability to hit a shot. So he definitely able to do that, and also no, we haven't been for they in the campus for 2 weeks now, yeah, but he's definitely he play hard, and he's a great shooter.
And so finally, the one that I think has intrigued a lot of people is Cone Carr. The guy looks like quite the athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. He is. Every single time he dunk in the gym, everybody just stood there to watch him because he's flying short. He's flying a scorer. He jumps so high, it's just ridiculous. So he's definitely his ability to do that is gonna, and to get an offensive rebound and stuff. So he's definitely very good at that one. So.
I'm curious too. We mentioned already that you said the coaches are really emphasizing running more this year. The other thing that was a little bit different for MSU last year compared to the way it normally is that you guys weren't a great offensive rebounding team. Is there an emphasis during the summer to get back to being really strong and aggressive on the offensive boards?
Yeah, for sure. That's another thing. Coaches have always been talking about every single workout, every single practice, every single lift, and they want to send a more guy to the class. They just want to let only bigs be down there. So even sometimes the guard, he's been talking about it every time we got good to the glass. Like you said, that's definitely some part of our last year weakness too. We have to go to glass for sure. This year, I think we will definitely be able to do that without no question.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Malik isn't back quite yet practicing, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you have any idea when they expect him to get back on the court?
That I don't know.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess, Mady, we'll wish you a good summer. Hopefully the workouts go well, and we'll see you in Moneyball, I suppose. And then it won't be that long. I guess we'll see you back at the Breslin Center.
Absolutely. Yeah.
In just a couple months.
Yeah.
And just, another reminder for people listening and those watching is to check out the foundation, MadySissokoFoundation.org. There you can see some videos, or at least our video, I guess, but you can definitely see some pictures of the school, and you guys, I think, doing basketball camps and things at school. And actually, one last question: when you did basketball camps back there?
Yeah, we did basketball. Yeah.
The main sport is not basketball, right, Molly? It's probably soccer, where they just use their feet. Yeah. They use the wrong thing. They use their feet, right? So, how are the kids playing basketball? Is that something that they play at all, or they totally confused?
They definitely play it. They definitely. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure about every day, but they definitely play basketball. There are some good kid some good players over there, and then we kind of saw them during the camp. Yeah, they definitely look like they play for sure.
Well, Mady, until we meet again, thanks so much for coming on the Final Four schedule.
Appreciate the time. Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. And sorry about getting late.
No
problem.
Hey, you're practicing, and we don't want you to get on Izzo's wrong side before the season starts. That'd be a bad thing, I think.
this time of year, he can go with anything. He's not that kind of guy in this time of year.
if we run into him and ask him, I don't know that he'll agree with that statement. We'll see if he does. But so until next time, the Final Four is on schedule. Go Green.
Thank you.
Do you look awful in regular shorts? That's because they're made of a stiff cotton. They're literally not made to move at all. This means a baggy, boxy, unflattering cut on every leg. Bird Dog shorts fixed all that. They invented cloud knit khaki fabric. It looks just like khaki, but it stretches. You get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. You never thought shorts could look this good. Go to birddogs.com/pool and grab a pair before they sell out for the summer. They'll even throw in a free Yeti-style tumbler. That's birddogs.com/pool.